What's up, y'all? Man, let me do that right. What up? Welcome to another episode of Savage Talk. It's your boy, Savage Soliloquy, here with the latest and current events and news from a black perspective. Yeah, we don't do that political stuff and all that. We're not political pandering or anything. We just all about the truth and all about seeing stuff as it is. Today's episode is a crazy episode, man. We're talking about Kyrie Irving. Anybody from y'all know I'm from Cleveland. Anybody from Cleveland definitely knows Kyrie Irving. Shoot, just probably about everybody in the world knows Kyrie Irving at this point. But Kyrie Irving, NBA superstar, won a championship with LeBron James here in Cleveland. Gave us our first championship in a long time. Right after, dipped on us. Pew! He dipped, and LeBron dipped, and we were starting from scratch. So a lot of people in Cleveland really wasn't feeling Kyrie for a long time because of that. And people took some of his comments as jabs to the city or whatever. But that's a whole nother story. The sports itself has traditionally been they use our black youth. They basically use the skills and the athleticism of our black youth to get their unathletic, older white man rich, So I tend to try not to jump into the politics of the sports, because sometimes it's always a little bit deeper. Some of us have been at some jobs with like some people you just can't respect, and it's like, I don't care what y'all trying to do. I'm gonna be an individual as I am. I'm gonna be me. And he said he didn't like a couple things that LeBron did here, and whatever's whatever. That's their personal decision as far as the sports. The reason he's in the news right now because he's just been suspended by the Brooklyn Nets until he's eligible to play. Now, in order to be eligible to play, the NBA has just mandated that their players get vaccinated. They get the jab. I hope I don't get banned for using that word. But yeah, and a lot of athletes, there are a lot of athletes that, like a lot of us, don't feel that there's been enough like good information out there, as far as us getting to the mandate stage, and Kyrie took a stand that he's not taking his jab, for his personal reasons. And he's really not even taking the stance that he's not taking the jab. He's taking the stance that, get out my business, this is really my business. But it's getting put out in the media that he's like anti-vax and that he's jeopardizing the team because he's taking his stance, and he's hurting the chance that the Brooklyn Nets will get a championship, because everybody just signed him off as getting the championship this year. But people are getting mad. The sports fans, they getting mad because, like, man, just shut up and take the jab and just play. But the world's not that simple. Them people playing, they human beings, and they got minds of their own, and they got their own opinions about what's going on. The fact that he's saying, like, he's trying not to put his business out there, but we know his business because he hasn't signed in as vaccinated. People are going all in on him, especially these retired athletes, and it's the sports media. The sports media is just treating him like public enemy number one because of his stance. There were some other athletes, some popular athletes that were taking a stance. Many of them kind of fell down to the pressure like Andrew Wiggins of the Golden State Warriors. He took his stance like I'm not taking his jab, but the pressure mounted on, and they basically telling these guys is like, hey, either take this jab or retire because ain't no team like no the NBA ain't gonna let you play in any arena. So that's the choice that these NBA players are given as far as the jab. Is either get the jab or retire. And Kyrie so far he's taking the stance that I'm not taking a jab. So all of the sports media is saying like, oh, he needs to retire. He needs to just leave Brooklyn alone. He needs to leave the NBA alone. And oh man, especially like Stephen A. Smith, he been going in on him. Shaquille O'Neal going in on him. Shannon Sharp, even Shannon Sharp is usually one that's usually solid with me. But bruh, you didn't some of the stuff he said is like it gets to a point where it's like they got us attacking each other. It got people within the same field attacking each other. People who would normally kind of be cool with each other, or, no issues with each other. They're going at each other right now. I do got a little video for y'all. This is Jeff Van Gundy. Anybody who knows Jeff Van Gundy, he's an asshole. I'm gonna just put it out there. He always put his foot in his mouth, but the NBA likes to put him up front because he says what he says. He's an older white guy that says what they says. Basically like an NBA Trump. This is a short little video of what he had to say about players doing their own research, because that's the controversy, is that Kyrie says that he's done his own research and he doesn't feel that that there's not enough good information out there for him to take a stance with the vaccination, pro-vaccination. So Jeff Van Gundy got to say he has some little comments about people researching their own research about health. Here we go.
Just in general, the one that drives me crazy is
what's that?
I'm doing my own research. I would like someone to answer this question. What does that look like? You doing your own research? Are you doing studies yourself? Are you in the lab on a nightly basis? What are you doing? I don't understand what that means. I'm doing my own research. How about this? We got really smart people, a lot smarter than anybody in the NBA who's already done the research.
You're right. Hey, Kevin Durant said, call me naive, but I'd like to think that we're going to have everybody
right
by the time the season starts.
And I'll say they're good enough, even if Kyrie Irving doesn't play. They can win it.
Yeah. Let me explain a little bit of what y'all are saying. Like the NBA and most companies, like they have a PR company, working for them. And usually when you're trying to push an agenda or push a mission, for your company or your organization, you use like company men, you know what I'm saying? Like people who gon', say what the company needs people to say. And it's usually the same methods, if you notice, he goes in with the discredit method. Like, he discredits like you taking control of your own health, to kind of push this agenda that he's pushing. Like, but what sense does that make though? What sense does it make to tell people not to research their own health? Like I don't see any good agenda in that. Like to tell people, you're doing your own research. Oh, you don't need to do that. There's smarter people out here. I'm gonna tell you, I went to college. I've tutored a lot of medical students. Some of these people weren't the brightest cats in college. They were the same as the communication students, the same as the other students all out. They were struggling. There was nothing that stood out with these students that was like, okay, these are the smartest people here. No, they learned a method, to get what they need to do to go. But it's like, I know enough of them to not rely on just them to be in control of my health. And I've been to hospitals and seen how they treated like certain people, especially like black men, black women. There's a certain way they treat you. It's a lot of people don't know, like legally, like in the medical field, they didn't even think black people could experience pain until like the 70s and the 80s. I mean, they literally thought black people could not experience pain. They used to do public displays where they would do surgery on black people without any anesthetics, any painkillers, anything. And it's just like, people screaming in pain. They just like, oh no, that's just a mental illness they're going through. You know what I'm saying? They're not really experiencing pain. They're going through a mental illness, and they're just screaming because they're crazy. This is what they did to us, and this like went on to like freaking 70s, bro. Like so. Excuse me if I got to do some of my own research that I don't fully trust the medical community. This is the same people that gave us the jab to give our people syphilis, and we just tend to forget about all that stuff like it's nothing. You just can't do that, man. You just can't just dismiss self-research. You know what I'm saying? That's the most stupidest thing ever. You have to dig in, or people will tell you anything. You'll fall for anything. Yeah, they were using classic methods. Then they try to use the other classic method of discrediting. Oh, the Brooklyn Nets would be a championship team without him. So now you discredit his skills. You know what I'm saying? Like something that don't even have nothing to do with his stands. Now you're attacking his skills and attacking the man himself, his character, all this. You know what I'm saying? These methods they use that people just ignore to, like, when you're told it so much from media, some people gonna pick up on it, and you hear it. Like you hear it in the barbershops or wherever people hearing this news at. You gonna hear the same stuff you heard on that video. You're gonna hear the same stuff they said on the news. You're gonna hear repeated and repeated because people aren't thinking for themselves. They're just going with the narrative. And once the mainstream or the media says attack, them gatekeepers, they coming. So that's why you see Kyrie Irving face everywhere right now. Like, and if you remember, the NBA was like the face of the COVID pandemic once Rudy Gobert caught it and he was playing around, touching the mics, like, doing little stupid shit. And then, it spread all throughout the NBA and they shut the NBA season down. And then they shut the country down. Like, now it's coming back to the NBA. It's coming down to this Kyrie thing to where they're trying to blame Kyrie for, like, spreading anti-vax, all this stuff. And, they're blaming them for the Brooklyn Nets losing their chances. So it's basically like, okay, championship or jab. That's basically what they're telling Kyrie. Like, if we don't win this championship, whether you was gone, we might not have won it anyway, but if we don't win it, it's your fault because you didn't take this jab. Like, that ain't cool, man. Is this legal? Is it legal for, like, all of these jobs and all these companies and organizations to be asking you this private information about you getting this substance in your blood system, in your bloodstream? Is it legal? Fortunately, it is. It is definitely legal for your employer to ask about your vaccination status. It's messed up, but it is definitely legal. It is definitely legal. This is some of the stuff you write off when you know what I'm saying, when you signing up for a job. You signing away certain rights, and a lot of us is employment at will, and that comes with a lot of stuff. So yes, your employer can legally ask for your vaccination status. If you're a contract employee, they really can't. You know what I'm saying? Get your own business. You know what I'm saying? Like, get your own business. Even though that might change, that might also change because President Biden is putting these mandates into play. And the reason he's doing mandates, these mandates are specifically put into play for them to go over your rights, for whatever rights you have protecting your medical privacy. That's what that mandate is for. Like this overruns that overruns that law or whatever. And our privacy is held together by the HIPAA Act. It's the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. And this is our privacy rule as far as health, our health. For the most part, people cannot ask you about your health status. That's for the most part. But because of these mandates and because of, they call it a pandemic, it can be considered a threat. And what it being considered a threat, they can actually go to your hospital. They can actually get this information from your doctor because it's considered a threat, because it's a pandemic status. They can actually go to your doctor and get your medical information without you, giving consent. Like if they consider you a threat, and they'll consider you a threat because you haven't taken this, jab. But that's where this is kind of leading. Right now, with it being a mandate, like we legally there, they can legally go to your doctor without your consent. A lot of people don't know that, but that's where we're at legally right now. Like I say, doctors can share your medical information if they feel you are a threat. This is usually used for stuff like like people getting beat, domestic violence. Like that's what it's mainly used for, but that's not what it's specifically used for. It's not specifically where they can only use this for domestic violence. This is a general law to where, like, okay, if this person is a threat in any way or threatening the health of the public, they can give your information away. Other than that, like, people really can't ask your health status. Even with your employee, know your laws, because your employee, they can only ask certain questions. They can't, like, a possible violation might be if your employer attempts to try to find out if you're vaccinated, but, like, say you can't get vaccinated because of a health reason, because you have a disability or something. They can't ask that if it comes to you exposing your disability or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They can't ask it. It's all types of little side stuff that makes it illegal, but trust me, law, like, they're going to violate a lot of y'all rights coming up in these next couple months. But there are politicians in certain states that are, like, fighting against this mandate. There are many, like, jobs and organizations that are fighting against this mandate because they know they can't keep up their amount of workers with this mandate. Right now, there are, like, nurses and doctors all over the world that are, like, basically quitting because they're not taking that jab. And if that doesn't tell you something, I can't do nothing for you. If all of these medical workers and doctors and nurses, the ones that are actually in the field working, are the ones saying, no, I'm not getting that, who is the one saying getting it? It's the politicians. The nurses and doctors, they're quitting. They're quitting. And then, like, the news is making, like, a whole scenario to where they're making it about other stuff. Oh, they're overworked, so they're quitting. They wasn't quitting when, well, some of them were quitting, but during the deepness of the pandemic, people weren't quitting. People were grabbing more hours, more money. People were building businesses. People were making their way out of it. Right now, since the mandate is here, they're quitting, and now there's shortages everywhere, and nobody wants to say that. Like, no, there's no new major outlets that are going to say that. But all you have to do is look at the information, and it's there that these people don't want this unknown substance in their arm. There isn't enough information out here that people feel comfortable with it being a mandate, and people are giving up their livelihoods. And that shows you something right there. People are giving up their livelihoods because that's your livelihood also. You sticking this unknown substance in your arm. That's your livelihood. And if you're not with it, you shouldn't be forced by somebody to get it when there's no evidence that this is going to stop the spread, or that is, stopping people from dying. Like, people are still dying from it. And once more and more people die, they tell you got to take another booster. And then after that, there's going to be another booster. Then there's going to be another booster after that. It's just not making sense. You see a flood of of celebrities and famous people that are, been talking shit about people that saying stuff about the information we given, and now they got the virus, and they like, hey, I got the shot and the booster shot, but I still got it, and I'm still here toe up, like my lungs, everything. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But okay, is it legal? We see that it's legal. It's legal for them to ask about your vaccination status as far as employees. But from it being legal, does that mean that it's right? This goes into ethics. If they start, saying that, you're a threat if you don't get this jab, and they start giving away your information, where does that stand with the Hippocratic oath? That doctors, take, that the medical professionals take, as far as, protecting their clients' privacy, and their health information. Where does it lean as far as wrong or right? Which one of them is wrong or right? Is the mandate right, or the Hippocratic oath right? Those are questions we need to ask, because if we don't have no control over them giving our information out, that's messed up. It gets to a point where, like, with all these health workers quitting and saying, I'm not taking this jab, and all these politicians saying we need to make this a mandate, it becomes medical workers versus politicians. Medical workers, yes, you hear that right. Medical workers versus politicians. That's where we're at right now. The medical workers are not agreeing with the politicians right now. They're quitting all over the world. They're striking all over the world. Like, this is real life right now. Like, this is medical workers versus politicians. So who do we trust as the non-medical workers, or regular citizens? Who do we trust? As far as, who do we trust? Do we trust the medical workers that are in the field, that are dealing with these health issues every day, that are saying, I'm not taking this jab? Or do we deal with the politicians who have taken fake jabs on TV, have hired actors, have been caught lying, and all this other stuff? I mean, I ain't trying to I was asking the question. I ain't trying to lean your question, but I mean the answer to your question, but we know politicians are fucking liars. And they're trying to put it like the medical professionals are saying, no, take this jab or else. There's no other way. We have to take this. That's not what the medical professionals are saying. I'm sorry. All you have to do, well, actually, like, at first, you could search it. At first, you could search like all this stuff over the world. I tried to search a lot of that stuff today. A lot of the stuff is getting blocked from you even searching it. Even going to freaking like Instagram, man, like a lot of stuff that was on there yesterday, you can't find it anywhere. A lot of stuff that was on there a couple other days. And even when you hashtag search vaccine, this is what comes up. Right. This is what comes up. Wait, let me get the right one. It basically says, oh, you're looking for vaccine information. When it comes to health, everyone wants reliable, up-to-date information. You know what I'm saying? Visit the World Health Organization website. This website has the information that can help answer your questions you may have about the vaccine. So you can't even really search it without a filter. Think about that. You can't even search vaccine without a filter, which means like you're getting flagged when you Google it or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they actually flag you on Instagram for even searching the vaccine. And when you get in there, like they still saw you, they'll let you see some of the posts, where it says see posts anyway. When you go there, it's probably about 10 posts on there. It's more than 10 damn posts about the damn vaccine out right now. And even then, most of them, like, people still play with their words to put out like certain information. This is all negative information about this jab. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're talking about statistics around the world about like how in Florida, the numbers went down. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're not following, there's no mask or no jab mandate there. You know what I'm saying? Statewide. And certain stuff like that they're blocking. They're blocking that. They are blocking that information. It's not going to show up in your regular timeline. You know, you're going to have to search for it. And even when you search for it, this is what was at the bottom of the screen. You know, it says recent posts from hashtag vaccine are hidden. You know, my blind ass can't even see it right now. But y'all can see it on the screen. But my screen kind of small. But they basically tell you, like, even with these that they're showing, they're not about to show you anything about the vaccine, anything from any doctors that going against it or anything. You're not going to be able to get any of that information. And it's getting worse and worse to where you're not going to be able to find any information alternative to what they're feeding you. You know, and that's on you if you trust in Instagram and Facebook to control your life, you know what I'm saying, to control the information that you see. Not the information you get to choose from, but even the information that you see. That is what social media is doing right now. They won't even let you see the information to make your own choice. You know, that's where we're at. It's pretty fucked up. We're in a level of censorship that I don't think we've seen before. You know what I'm saying? Like, because even back in the day, like when they would try to censor books, you could still go into the cut in the alley somewhere and find somebody with that information. It's getting to the point where now, like, people worship social media. So it's like, if social media says this is what it is, and they don't even let an opposing view even get there, because that's the issue. If you don't have an opposing view, who's going to test the knowledge? You know, once you stop having people to say, like, hold up, that ain't right. We fucked as a community. We fucked as a society. Like, we done. You know, because there's nobody that's going to protect us. And we see what happens when we're not protected. We get syphilis spread throughout our neighborhoods. We get all these stuff they test on us. They ship us out to China for them to test different viruses and stuff on us. Yes, that's all real stuff. That's not conspiracy theory. Research the papers that Clinton released. That, you know, from like the 60s and all that. They were actually like they were actually shipping like black people out, kidnapping homeless people and shipping them out to China to be, you know, worked on, experimented on. You know, that's not conspiracy. That's not me just playing the sand shit. Research that shit. Like, but we in the point where censorship is at an all-time level and you're not gonna know that stuff. Even right now in like school books, they taking slavery out of school books. You know, they're saying that they're changing slavery into immigrants, you know what I'm saying, in school books. Censorship is real. Like, they're going to erase the fact that we went through this struggle and they're going to create a whole new story. We're in the middle of it right now. Man, it's a lot that we can go through. The last point, y'all know I try to do the news negative and we go to the positive. The last little part of this news we got is this was actually a question that I wanted to ask, because like all this news that I've been seeing, it seems that, and I know I ain't the only one that sees this, you know what I'm saying? I hope I ain't the only one that sees this, man. Like, yeah, Gunnia says, hopefully Kyrie doesn't cuck and take the sauce, right? Right. I feel you, family. Like, is man, I'm hoping he don't, because Andrew Wiggins, he held out, but then he wound up taking it, and then he released the comment to where you can tell in the comment that he was like, yeah, y'all forced me to do this, and he like, I'm not talking about it anymore. Like I don't want to say anything else. Like, don't ask me about this, because they basically forced him to take it. And the thing is, it's like it's a force. They forcefully getting people to take this jab, but they're not forcefully doing anything else. They're not forcing us to eat healthy. They're not forcing us to get cancer-causing substances out of our houses. They're not forcing us to exercise. Like, and it becomes it's even to the point to where anybody who promotes like healthy living to fight this pandemic, They're getting banned. So it's literally like it's a war against it's a war against healthy living. It's healthy living versus the vax, versus the jab. They're literally going against people who are telling you to eat healthy, telling you to take control of your own life, to drink more liquids, and to eat healing herbs, and they're actually attacking this. They're actually attacking healthy living, and they're banning people. Understand, they are banning people from social media from telling you, to eat right to get your immune system up. They're blocking this from you seeing it. You can't even find it in your timelines unless you're specifically looking for it or you specifically follow these people. You're not going to come across of it. They're blocking people that's saying, eat elderberries, eat sea moss, they're banning people for telling people to be healthy. And that's horrible. That's one of the most horrible parts of this to me, that they're banning people from telling people to be healthy. And you won't find any of these news people telling you to be healthy. I came across this, man. This was one of the things that came up when I was finally able to get the search to work for vaccine. But they say, no, your antibodies are not better than vaccination. I just want to leave that up here for a little bit while I talk about this. Man, if that doesn't make you feel some type of way, that comment right there. But this is what they're pushing right now. They say, no, your antibodies are not better than vaccination. And that's what you call misinformation. But anybody who knows anything about the jabs, in history, for all jabs in history, they are so-called used to strengthen your antibodies, right? They recognize the virus or whatever that's coming in to attack you. They give you a piece of the virus or something that mimics it, so that when the actual virus hits you, those antibodies, they like, oh, this homeboy, we already fought him. You know what I'm saying? In so many words. And now your body is more strengthened to fight this. Okay. I can receive that, you know what I'm saying, as a definition. That's always been a definition as far as the jab. Now it's a different definition. We can have a whole nother conversation about that. It's a whole different definition for the jab now than what it was before this pandemic happened. And there are many things to build your antibodies. There are many things to build your immune system. Eating healthy, giving that bullshit ass meat up, red meat, processed meat, any meat. Meat tears your immune system down. Just flat out. Any meat you eat, anything that shits pee or doo-doos and you eat it, it fucks with your immune system because you're not supposed to do it. And your immune system has to kick in to help your body survive eating this crap. That's usually like why when we get sick, even the doctors, they tell you eat more fruits and veggies, right? And then what happens when you eat those fruits and veggies? You get better, right? You know what I'm saying? That's because you're supposed to be mainly eating those fruits and veggies. They help build your immune system. We got healing herbs that are proved throughout years, even before our medical system. I mean, I'm talking about thousands of years, the ancient Kush and Kemet that people been using to heal this stuff for thousands and thousands of years. People that are way smarter than our doctors, been using these herbs to heal. And this is the stuff that they're banning. This is the stuff they're telling you not to use. They're telling you to use synthetic stuff that they came up with. And that just doesn't make sense to me. If we needed these jabs to survive as a people, how did we get this far? Like, why aren't we extinct? You know what I'm saying? Jabs, that's some new stuff. That's stuff within our lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Within our parents' lifetime. How did we make it before then? How did we survive all the so-called pandemics before then? How did we still come out on top? How did we even go through that and still even went through slavery and all that and still made it? We still here. We made it without these jabs, but all of a sudden it's like, okay, the world can't move forward without this synthetic made stuff. I'm just not buying it. I'm sorry. I don't. I'm not even really trying to convince you. I'm just speaking my mind that I'm not convinced. You know what I'm saying? Like, we made it this far without it. You know, I don't think it should be mandatory for us to live with it now. You know, and with this war against healthy living, why is it? Why are we having a war against healthy living? You know, and who could be behind it? I don't know if y'all know before the pandemic, there was a couple things that went viral on Netflix. You know, a couple documentaries and stuff that were exposing the meat industry. You know, the meat and produce industry, about how, you know, it was tearing our health up, and that they were modifying these animals and these plants so much that it would eventually create an organism that would go out of control that we couldn't control, and we're gonna be sitting here looking stupid like, oh, what is this? What is this? I'm just saying, I ain't saying that's what this is, but I'm saying, like, many people were predicting this within the vegan community and you know, the holistic community. People were predicting this word for word, day for day, document for document. People were predicting this. You can, like, you don't got to take my word for it. You can go back and look for some of this stuff. Some of this stuff a little bit harder to look for now because they trying to block any information that says anything about healthy living, as far as preventing the virus. Even for the flu, you can't even find it for the flu and any of that right now. You know, they're basically blocking any information about healthy living or healthy eating as far as preventing any virus or disease right now, which is weird. That's very weird right there. You know, especially since, like, the Obama administration and all them, like Michelle Obama, she was so big on the vegetables and healthy eating. Where did that go? You know what I'm saying? That's just gone now. So who's behind it? Like, I believe, like, the same people, those big organizations, the meat and produce organizations, the medical fields. Those are the ones that tend to seek the most profit from what's going on right now. Those are the people that seek the most profit from the last couple of things we've done. Those are the people who the whistleblowers have been calling out for the last couple incidents, but people tend to forget. And these are the same people giving you these jabs. Y'all forget Johnson and Johnson right before this. They were getting sued by everybody for the baby powder and the talc, for giving people cancer for like years and years. But, like, man, like, did y'all forget that? Now all of a sudden we have to trust them. Like, we have to trust. It's mandated that we trust them. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. They shouldn't even be allowed to make that. You know what I'm saying? After this big old thing with baby powder, they shouldn't even be allowed in that conversation. But we are mandated to trust them. Nah. These are the same companies that benefit from your bad health. The medical companies that are making all these medicines, they don't want you to be healthy. They want you to take jabs. They want you to take pills. They want you to pop as many pills as you can. Like, even with, like, right now, I'm dealing with an injury on my shoulder. Like, when I went to the hospital, they like, hey, you just pop some pills and, hey, have a nice day. Pop some pills and have a nice day. You know, but then, you know, I went to a chiropractor, you know, which, you know, chiropractors, they're more on fixing your body than actually just drugging you up and just sending you on your way. So it's like, I actually got progress from the chiropractor, moving stuff and, like, getting massages, and, you know, from where the so-called mainstream medical doctor, because if you don't know, there's like a battle in the medical field between, like, certain doctors and chiropractors. Like, they try to say, like, some chiropractors aren't real doctors, and it's a big battle with that. And, you know, anybody who's had a physical injury, most of them people tend to try to go back to the chiropractors. And sometimes most of the doctors, they gonna refer you to a chiropractor anyway, because they're the ones actually doing the physical work. You know, it's the same with this. You know, those mainstream doctors, they tend to not know shit. I'm sorry to say it like that, but they tend to go off old rules. They dismiss other research, and you can't just dismiss all research if you're looking for real answers. That's just not even scientifically sound. Um, but I believe it's these same companies we've been dealing with since slavery time that try to control the people and keep the people sick, and they profit off of us. It's these same companies. That's why it's a war against healthy living. That's why you can't promote healthy living as far as preventative measures against this pandemic, against this virus. If you do it too much, you're going to get some flags on your stuff. Even when people try to follow you, when you try to follow any of these pages, there's a pre-warning on it that says, "Are you sure you want to follow this person?" They spread a lot of false information. This is only if they saying like eat your veggies and fruits. Like it's gotten that bad. It's gotten that bad. Okay, let's end it on our positivity. How do we protect ourselves? Man, same thing I just said, like the stuff people getting banned for. The primary way to protect yourself is to eat healthy. I don't care what they say. As far as people saying your diet doesn't matter or anything, your diet is the number one way to prevent viruses tearing your body up. You know what I'm saying? You have to have physical internal strength, and the only way to do that is by eating right. And by eating right, that means the majority of your diet should be fruits and vegetables, vegetables, and herbs, grains. That should be your main. It actually should be fruits. Should be the majority of all that, as far as how our bodies work. Other than that, like this processed food, like these meats, it's acid. It's just putting acid in your body that's your body can't control. So if your body is fighting this acid inside your stomach, if it's fighting these diseases, these billions of diseases that these freaking animals have that you can't cook out, these worms that every source of meat gives you. If you eat meat, you have worms in your stomach. So your body has to fight those worms off. If your body is fighting all that crap off, it's not going to be able to take that virus once it hits you. Like you're not going to be at your full strength to fight whatever sickness or illness comes your way. That's why we get like when we're past puberty, we still get all these pimples and these boils, and we get all this phlegm and all this other stuff. Like it's because our body has so much junk in it that we have to detox. So that's where we at. Detox your body. Eat herbs. Make sure you're eating healing herbs. There's too much information out there about healing herbs for you not to know about them or to not be able to get some information about them. Research Dr. Sebi. There's other people that do it. Just research healing herbs. They do work. They worked for thousands and thousands, even probably millions of years before these doctors figured they had the only route of medicine. Yeah. Also, fasting helps out. Fasting helps out as far as clearing your body of any junk, or of any toxins. But make sure after you fast, make sure that you're getting healing herbs and good food, like fruits and veggies. Once you get out of your fast, if not, you're just gonna be right back. Like them bad foods, they're gonna have a worse effect on you because after you fast, your body is more absorbent to nutrients and whatever you have coming in your body. And the more nutrients, the more good stuff you're absorbing, the more defenses you have against anything. Stay sanitary. That should be a given. Wash your ass. That shouldn't even have to be a given. Wash your ass. Make sure you're using a soap that has good pH balance. That's not going to make your skin acidic. Use a good goat milk soap, a good soy soap. Don't use these famous store brands with all that bullshit in it. That's going to dry you out, tear your skin up. That's going to make you more susceptible to viruses and all types of stuff that absorbs in your skin because you don't have no protection on your skin. Use some African black soap. Sure, I'll have some stuff for you on sale soon on here. But make sure you treating your skin right, because your skin, they say protect your face and your nose, but we all know every part of our skin absorbs everything around us. Like you can absorb viruses and stuff through the bottom of your feet, through your knees, through your, you can absorb stuff. You can absorb substances through anywhere in your body. Your whole skin absorbs substances. Your hair absorbs substances, and it absorbs through your scalp. We get toxins and stuff from everything. So be sanitary, clean your shit, use some essential oils, use some oils to replenish your stuff and to protect your moisture levels in your body. Because if your moisture levels in your body aren't right, you can't fight stuff. Because if you don't have enough moisture, your body can't move what it needs to move around. As far as the antibodies and all that, it gets harder for your body to function. Yeah, protect yourself, man. Those are the ways to protect yourself. As far as for anything, I'm not gonna promote it like it's specifically for this virus or whatever, because they try to shut you down for that crap. But that's specific for the human body as far as getting your system built up to protect you from outside toxins and whatever, and that's my words on that. We're gonna end it off with, I definitely stand with Kyrie as far as, him taking his stance that you're not gonna pimp me into your agenda. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe what you're saying, and you're not about to like throw money in my face to make me believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because we know, I mean, come on, let's keep it real. Athletes aren't the number one people to look for as far as encouragement and being good role models within the neighborhood, as far as taking stands. Like as far as them doing something, okay, that's a good role model. But as far as them taking the stands on anything, athletes have definitely been one of the worst people in our community as far as taking stands on anything. Because in most sports, if you take a stance on anything, you're gonna lose your job, you're gonna lose your fan base, you're gonna lose your sponsors. So a lot of them are being pimped to keep their mouths closed. It's gotten a little better in recent years, but there's still a level that they have to where like, hey, shut your mouth and dribble, or we're gonna shut you down. I don't care who you are. You can be LeBron James or whatever. They shutting cats down. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're doing to Kyrie right now. And Kyrie is like, I'm taking my stance. I'm planting my feet. Hopefully, he continues to plant his feet. Hopefully, he's made enough investments and used his money wise enough from his career so far that he'll be able to work with that for the rest of his life. Because the brother got money. You know what I'm saying? The brother has businesses and all that. So I think Kyrie Irving will be good without the NBA. As far as like, that's pretty messed up that they would take his career like that, over something that they really don't have all the information for. But you have to take a stance. Like there are few in history that took them stances, and in the end, people honored them for them stands. People like Muhammad Ali, which is comparative to what Kyrie Irving is doing right now. And a lot of people might not see it right there like that, but Kyrie Irving is standing for freedom right now. The freedom to say what I put inside of my body, and the fact that I'm gonna stand on this freedom whether you threaten my job or not, that I'm gonna stand on it. And I gotta take his I gotta ride with Kyrie on that, man. Like family say, don't take the jab, man. I say like, with me, I'm not taking it. If you do take it, man, just know that you ain't like, don't become like these cats that like, you become holier than thou. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I took the jab, so you fucking with everybody else that haven't taken it. And that's where they getting us right now, to where we fighting each other because they got this narrative to where, the unvaccinated have to get vaccinated to protect the vaccinated, which that doesn't make sense to me. Like, you had to get vaccinated to protect you from the virus, but it doesn't protect you from the virus, so everybody else has to get it on a mandate it doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense at all. Like I say, I stand with Kyrie. I stand with the people in the real medical field. All those the thousands and thousands, probably millions of nurses and doctors that are having to give their careers up, that are having to go on strike because they don't believe that this stuff should be mandated at this point. You know, they don't believe that the politicians should be making medical decisions for us. They believe the medical field should be making the medical decisions for us. And right now, they're not. Right now, the politicians are making all of our medical decisions. The same ones that gave us, the same organization that gave us syphilis to neighborhoods, and the same ones that promoted slavery and enslaved people. And like, it's the same line. So it's like you can't separate that and be like, oh no, they doing good this time. Like, okay, they enslaved our people. They gave us all these diseases. They poisoned people, raped, beat, and did all that. But I think they're good now. I think they're doing good now. Yeah. I don't think they do that again. Like, if y'all believe that, I can't do nothing for you. We about to I'm about to end it with this video from Muhammad Ali to show you the difference between like the Stephen A. Smiths and all these who bashing all these young athletes who trying to take a stand. Shaq and all of them that shouldn't even say nothing. Y'all, like, most of the stuff y'all say be idiotic for real. So it's like, for you to even take a political stance on this is like funny. But we're gonna show you the difference between a lot of these shaky athletes now and cats like Muhammad Ali.
This fight is for the freedom, justice, equality of the black man in America, so that I may take my title and my fame and go out and uplift little black people in the ghettos. Yes, black people is catching hell. Black people who entertainers won't speak for. That's all right. Those entertainers coming here, don't none of them really get on no television and give up every quarter to say something that's against white people, right. The government. All those entertainers, not getting on them, but I'm saying I have to lead the way. I have to be. Now, God has made me bigger than all entertainers in America. God has made me bigger than all entertainers in the world. God has made me bigger than all athletes in the world. Now it's my job to whoop this man, get my title, so I can use it to help uplift the black man in America. That's why I go in the ring, with this intention.
Yes. You see the difference? You have to stand on your integrity. Stand on your integrity. Like, I don't care whether you're with the jab or you're without the jab. If you're for it or against it, stand on your integrity. Stop attacking people like you know. Like, I don't care if you for the jab, you don't know. I'm sorry. The information isn't out there. There's no information out there that says that it's completely safe, that it'll prevent you from getting this virus. Is just not out there. So make an informed decision and don't bully people because you got your status, you got your vax status. That's the worst thing you can do, is get your vax status and start trying to bully people who stood against it. And you're not even listening to, a lot of people not even listening to reason. Trust me, I've debated a lot of people, and the number one thing I see in a lot of people I debate is fear. Like, people working off fear right now. And a lot of people is fear of losing their jobs. A lot of people is fear that they're going to lose their life with, this pandemic. It's just, we running off fear right now. And as we know, fear, when you're working off fear, you can't make good decisions. It's a bad vibe to work off of. It's a very bad vibe to work off. Working off fear, you just trying to get the first way out. But when you working off information, you a lot better off. So inform yourself, and don't let nobody force you to do anything that you don't want to do. Take a stance. Your life is worth more than that job. Your life is worth more than that vaccinated sweepstakes. Your life is worth more than, this guy that never has shown any love to any poor communities, that is now a president. He's not going to show any love at this point. So do you? With that, I got to say, what up, man? I hope y'all have the rest of y'all day amazing. Go read something, do something better for your life, man. Don't just sit in front of the screen all day. Read something, motivate somebody. Shoot, get in these comments, man. Let's start some debates up in here, man. Like let's keep it respectful, but let's get some info out, man. Spread some info to me, man. Like feed me, Seymour. Feed me. All right, I'll catch y'all on the next broadcast, man. It's your boy Savage Soliloquy, and I'm out.